To discuss more on this Nashville shooting, we are in the police response. We're joined by Stuart Kaplan. He's a former FBI special agent. Good morning, sir. Thank you for being on with us.
Good morning.
So this is just a sad story. Unfortunately, it is one we have seen before. I'm kind of curious here. It seems like law enforcement has identified the shooter here. That shooter is dead, but there's still an investigation. So what is left over in this investigation that it still gets looked into as far as what happens after this person has died?
I think to try to connect the dots, to try to give us a roadmap so that we can try to neutralize the next threat, the next person that is in the planning or plotting stage to get into his or her car to carry out the next mass shooting. I think this is a perfect example, textbook example of a complete failure where we all need to take responsibility that it's going to play out, and just give it another day or two where the people that were closest to this individual really just had a blinded eye to the obvious, just isolation, behavior that was inconsistent with normal behavior, and just the fact that these type of individuals need to be neutralized before they actually get up on that particular day to carry out these type of horrific crimes. I think law enforcement, in connection with this particular shooting, did a miraculous job. The people that went into that building certainly rose to the level of being heroes. My hat's off to them. But the reality is that law enforcement cannot be solely responsible for trying to neutralize these type of individuals that sit in their homes in isolation and that are just a ticking time bomb.
And we do want to say congratulations, maybe not congratulations, but thank you for your service, I suppose, to Officer Rex Engelbert and also Officer Michael Colasso. Between them, they've got 13 years of experience with the Nashville Metropolitan Police Department, and the department says that they are responsible for shooting and killing the shooter. And that took place 14 minutes after the first 911 call. So what do you make of that response here? 14 minutes, I'm sure it seems like an eternity, but we have seen much worse, and in the not too distant past.
I mean, look, for the individuals that are locked down, 14 minutes probably seemed like 14 hours. The reality is that law enforcement responded as quickly as they possibly could as soon as the 911 calls went out. Obviously, these officers had to stage up, meaning to put on the necessary equipment, get the necessary tools and assets, and then, as you can imagine, methodically make entry and move towards that gunfire. And they did exactly what they were trained to do. My problem, my personal problem with our politicians is they have created, for example, schools to be gun-free zones where, for example, myself, who carries under federal authority, when I arrive on a school property, whether it's to pick up or drop off my child, I have to not come onto the property with a weapon. I find that to be counterintuitive. It's somewhat frustrating. I think people that are well trained and suited to carry a weapon, for example, in this type of scenario, this type of threat, when this individual made entry into this school, if there was someone who was armed, I would have liked to have thought that the threat could have been neutralized within 14 seconds and not 14 minutes. Again, I think we need to reevaluate. Bad people, evil people do not give it any thought or any consideration with respect to quote unquote gun-free zones. I think this is a perfect example as to reevaluating whether we need to have armed personnel at these type of schools, so that in the interest of law enforcement, or while law enforcement is en route, we can at least try to neutralize the threat sooner than later. But again, my hat's off to these two officers, and let's not forget their lives will forever be changed, and we need to also recognize and embrace the effects that it will have on law enforcement in their careers moving forward.
Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation in your cable lineup. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-based, unbiased coverage.